another one. Yay. So today I just wanted to basically give you all, because I get a lot of emails just asking how do I grow my hair, and there are very specific things that not unless you actually go and see a stylist and get consultation. There are very specific things that you can do to increase the growth of your hair. So today I'm going to give you top 10 things that you can do to promote better hair growth. And I'm getting it from hairfinity.com. This website is very, very, very informative. And what I also love about this website is the fact that you can go to the website and they have a section that is a custom hair care regimen, which I think is so important, especially as consumers, because you don't know. There are so many choices and so many things that you can really get yourself into. So I really encourage everyone to go visit this website. The first one is use gentle shampoos. Basically what that means is you want to stay from any shampoo that is going to have harsh sulfates, that is going to have any sort of sodium chloride, if you can avoid it. Very few have that, but when you have sulfates and you use them on a more consistent basis, it's going to really strip that hair and rough up that cuticle, which that's going to have your hair appear and feel very dry and brittle, and that's definitely something that you don't want. You also want to get more into moisturizing shampoos and conditioners. That helps as well. Step 2 is use protein treatments to rebuild the hair shaft. Now, I've done a video on this before, and so you all know that I'm very particular when it comes to protein conditioners, because some people can go overboard, and not to mention that your hair is already 88% protein according to this website. So you definitely want to make sure, and I stress this, to use something that is along the lines of a natural protein or keratin protein to help rebuild your hair. Now, the key is, and I've said this before, make sure that you don't overboard. And how do you do that is you basically do your protein either once a month, one to two times a month, but no longer than 3 or 4 months. I think after that, it just, your hair pretty much gets back into the routine of things, and you should be fine after that. Step 3 is use moisturizing treatments. And yet again, I am very particular with these also, because just like you need protein to rebuild the hair and you don't want to overdo it, you do need moisture to help improve the elasticity of the hair, which is its ability to stretch and bounce back. You want to be able to make sure that you're able to cater to that, but don't overdo it, because having too much moisture on your hair will cause your hair to be limp. So if you alternate between the protein and the moisture, that's fine. But like I said, just limit how long you do it. It's not something that you have to do forever, but it is something great to do every once in a while. Step 4, use water and oil-based moisturizers. The thing about this is a lot of people, they use moisturizers as their way to kind of incorporate moisture back into their hair. But honestly, that should be done with step 1, 2, and 3. But you don't want to use that as your way of getting moisture back into your hair, because if you skip over step 1, 2, and 3, step 4 will do you no good. Use hair vitamins. Step 5, use hair vitamins to increase your growth rate and lengthen your natural growth phase. Now you can use, and I've done a video on vitamins. You can use the biotin, you can use prenatals, you can use the Nioxin, and I'm actually using one now that is also, it's by Hair Affinity, and their vitamins so far, I've noticed it's a lot more of an immediate result, which is really great. But I'm still in the process of really seeing how it works. So give me a minute and I'll be sure to do a review on that one. But so far, I really am liking how it's working with my hair and also my skin. Like, I noticed, I was like, oh my gosh, my skin is like really glowing because of that. But make sure you incorporate your vitamins and be more consistent about it, because the more consistent you get those vitamins into your system, the better and more consistent your hair will grow and be. Use a wide tooth comb or use paddle brushes. Try to stay away from fine tooth combs and bristle brushes. on a more consistent basis is when we're talking about, this is what we're talking about, being more consistent. If you're using a paddle brush, it doesn't comb out the curl or brush out the curls as much. And then if you're using a fine tooth comb, same thing. You don't have to deal with too much breakage or the comb getting tangled. So you want to make sure that you use wide tooth combs and paddle brushes. That helps out greatly. Use a satin scarf or pillowcase for sleeping. Like I've said before, I practice martial arts in my sleep, so I use both because by the time I wake up, the scarf is halfway off. And so to avoid any type of damage, if you use both, you're kind of making sure that you're protected on both ends. Because if you have a regular pillowcase but yet you're using a scarf and it comes off or raises up at night, you start to have a little breakage in the back or around the edges, and that's because your hair gets caught up onto that cotton material, and it does dry out the hair, and it does cause a lot of friction between the fibers of your hair and the fibers of the cotton. So you do have a lot of breakage. So for me, I would say if you could do both, that would be the best. But if not, one or the other will do much of an improvement. Limit the heat styling to once weekly and use thermal protectants. Now, everyone has asked me about thermal protectants, and you all have seen a lot of my videos by now. I do believe in them, and I do say to use them as much as possible. If you are very neglectful with heat, then you need to use one for blow drying, you need to use one for flat ironing, you need to make sure that you are protecting that hair every single step of the way. And make sure you really do limit that heat to once a week. And also using protective styles such as roller sets, twist sets, spiral sets, things like that, to where you won't have to use as much heat on your hair. That will help greatly. Which brings us to step number 9, use protective styles. Basically, these styles are dealing with the roller sets and the twist sets and the spiral sets, and making sure you do pinups. Things that will cause you not to have to do too much to your hair. That normally helps as far as having more consistent hair growth. So that is definitely something that you want to look to. And step number 10, which is something that I hear people skip all the time, making sure that not only with your relaxers, but with any chemical service that you do to yourself, make sure that you neutralize. Anytime you do a chemical service on your hair, it is going to shoot that pH level of your hair in one way or the other, and it's not going to keep it very balanced. So whether you're doing a relaxer or you are neutralizing post color, it will help you greatly to help to bring back down that pH level, seal the cuticles of that hair, and make sure that those chemicals are not harshly drying out your hair. On the website, which is something that yet again, I really am loving this website. Make sure that, or what they state, it makes sure that you shampoo your hair minimum of 3 times. But when you have a relaxer or color, you want to make sure that you rinse each of them out completely. Make sure that there's nothing but clear water running through your hair, and then go back and neutralize, and that will definitely help. And make sure you neutralize a minimum of 3 times, 3 to 5 times. I know 5 is like a little bit much, but you know, better safe than sorry. So if you all have a second, please go to the website. It's hairfinity.com, and they do have a tab which is a must go to. It's a free custom hair care regimen. So they'll ask you a list of questions that will pertain to what your hair is like, and you know, all the things that you're going through, and it'll help with identifying exactly what specifically you need for your hair. Until next time, I will see you all later.